Welcome into the Fun Astrology podcast for Saturday, October 26th. Thomas Miller back. And I ran across something in looking at Facebook this morning in the Astro Codex group that I thought was just hilarious and a great way to start the Saturday. So this is one of those things that just because it's on the internet, you know you can believe it, right? That they were saying that scientists, there was this article, that scientists have found that there is a fissure, a crack, in the planet Uranus that once every about 17 hours, Earth hours, opens to release solar gases from Uranus. And the comment that I saw was, well, at least they named it right. Well, whether it's true or not, who knows? I'm not advocating that it is, but it's a good way to just get a laugh out of the weekend anyway. And then it shined the spotlight on this audiobook that I'm reading for Steve Forrest, which is all about fire, which is what we're going to talk about here in just a second. And then it made me realize, how does he say that word? So I went back first to Merriam-Webster, which I always do, or dictionary.com for pronunciations. And Uranus, as I have adopted to say it, is the correct first preference. And then Uranus is the second one. So, and that's, Steve kind of says a blend. So I've said Uranus in the book, and I'm just going to stay with it. So there you go. All right, what a great transition to fire. Let's talk about some fire. There's an aspect that I really didn't unpack that well this past week that I thought I would spend just a moment on here, because it stays with us until November 4th, and that is this square between Mars and Saturn, and it also is squaring the North Node. Now, we mentioned it probably, a week or 10 days ago, but it's still there and still prominent, and I'm seeing it pop up online, and people are wondering what's going on with it. And actually, because I've been in this book with Steve Forrest, he occasionally talks about Mars interacting with other planets. Now, I'm not pulling from it, and it's not, his material is not fresh on my mind of exactly what I've read. You know, when you spend this much time in a book, you forget what was on one page or chapter from another. But when we take the characteristics and we just paint the picture, Mars brings out intensity, and it brings out passion, and it brings out urgency, and it brings out sexual passion, sexual tension, sexual related areas. So when we combine that with a square, now, you know, this whole definition of squares, it did come up actually as I was narrating a chapter this week, that Steve Forrest was saying, let's do away with saying positive and negative aspects. And, I agree. This resonates. He was saying use hard and easy. And that's exactly the same terminology that I'm really deeply engrossed with on the side when I have about 10 extra spare minutes right now, taking a look at this vibrational astrology, which I'm going to be rolling into the readings here soon, that they talk about the same language, hard and easy. And that really, and then you morph it into what I really like is motivational. Like when you say that Mars is in this aspect, this hard aspect, this square aspect with Saturn, that it really is motivating. And that's the way I'm kind of saying to look at this, especially because it's tied into the North Node. Now, obviously, if you were looking at this on the chart, the North Node and South Node are always opposite each other. Saturn is sitting 5 degrees away from the South Node, so basically what we have is a T-square. So there's a line going directly across the chart, cutting it in the middle. That's the North Node and South Node, and then right at a 90-degree angle to that is Mars. And actually today, close enough to count, the Moon in Libra as well. So that just adds to this picture that I'm going to paint. Just for today, the Moon throws the extra introspective, reflective, emotional angle on it. So the Moon sitting next to Mars, those are two strange sleeping bag fellows, aren't they? But the Mars square brings urgency to this work that the universe is, everything about the chart is Saturn Pluto. And I'm not saying that to ignore the other things that are in the chart, the other formations, the other patterns, the other energies. What I'm saying is that right now, that is the hub of the wheel. So you can literally weave all of the other energies into this inner work that those of us who are choosing to be conscious, and that's you, because you're here, you're at the party. So we're doing this together, right? And that's, oh, I won't go into that. That's Aquarius, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But this is all about doing this inner work. And I think that this Mars-Saturn, you could paint all the traditional pictures of Mars-Saturn, but I would invite you to color it through the lens of Saturn-Pluto and look at it as urgency to do this inner work. And the big theme of Saturn-Pluto is getting really clear. Structure, foundation, build the solid base. So again, now that Mars is in Libra, could bring this aspect of relationship to the table. So where is there not a solid foundation in your relationship? Where in your partnerships? I mean, let's just not say with a significant other. Maybe you're single and have no intentions of being in a relationship. What do you look for? It's partnerships. Where are you associated with other people? Especially in some kind of a close-in type thing. So it could be a business deal. Maybe you own joint property. Maybe you manage a pet together. I've seen that. So, just wherever others are close in. Now, this isn't your big tribe. These aren't your friends who wish you happy birthday once a year on Facebook. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the close-in relationships. We could also use the Libra balance here. Where are things just not in balance in your life? Mars is urging you right now to bring those things back into balance. It's truly a beautiful energy. So just think about like the last 10 days. What have been the areas? I know for me, relationship has come up in this context. Little challenge, do the work, right? So that's a beautiful picture of what's going on right now to support our overall grand theme of this solid structural foundation, getting us ready for what's in the future, which is going to be after the transition, which can be tough, is going to be beautiful. All right? Have a great Saturday. Enjoy the weather. Hopefully it's nice where you are.